Hello everybody, welcome to the Daily Fantasy Sports Picks and Bets Show. My name is Ethan Kershaw, Daily Fantasy Soccer Analyst. Today, we are going to be looking at an awesome 4-game slate on DraftKings, chatting about some MLS soccer. So, before we get into the slate, make sure to drop a like on this video and also subscribe to Mayo Media Network, where you can find a lot of other content for a bunch of other sports where Pat and his team are working tirelessly to get some awesome stuff and content out for you all. Also, be sure to subscribe to Daily Fantasy Sports Picks and Bets the Mix, wherever you get your podcasts from. And then also head on over to Twitter and follow me at EthanKershaw9, where I can help you out with your daily fantasy soccer lineups, any news, any updates you need it. I am there for you. Alright, that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the video that we have today and the content that we have. First, we're going to be looking at some forwards. Obviously, like I do mostly week to week, I really like to play up in the midfield players, and that's what we're going to be doing this week as well. There are a lot of players who are back from international duty with the Gold Cup, as their teams did not make the knockout rounds, and so that will kind of change the landscape here that we have as well. Some players shifting in and out, and some other guys that I really like this week. Going to be a really fun slate. Starting with forward position, we're going to start with Gustavo Bo at 9.1k for the New England Revs. New England Revs have been playing extremely well lately, and they get a really favorable matchup this week against Inter Miami. Miami have allowed 1 or more goals in the last 8 games. And looking at Gustavo, he has scored in 6 of the last 7 games with 22 shots over that span. Extremely impressive, very active up top. He's been drawing the start lately along with Adam Buksa up top at the forward position. And they've really looked to go towards Gustavo Bo when needing a goal or a score. Also, 2 games ago, Gustavo Bo also had 8 crosses. It was one of the games he did not score in. And so if you're looking for somebody who has a pretty safe floor, that's Gustavo Bo for you. He's got a lot of opportunity to get crosses in, to score, to have shots on goal, something that adds a lot of value to his price. 9.1k, it's a little expensive, but I think he returns value in that spot. I'm looking at a little bit cheaper now, a little bit cheaper priced forward. I've actually got 2 options. We're going to start off with Fabio for New York Red Bulls at 7.2k. The reason I like Fabio so much this week is, again, he gets a pretty favorable matchup against Toronto FC, and he's had 2 goals and 2 assists over the last 5 games. Now, he and Patrick Klimala have been getting the starts up top for the Red Bulls. Klimala's got some pretty similar stats as well, but I just like Fabio just because he's a little bit cheaper this week. 17 shots over that 5-game span as well for Fabio, and Toronto have allowed a goal in the last 9 games. Like I had mentioned with him and Klimala, very similar, but I like the pay down option here with Fabio, 7.2k. I'm putting him in my lineups, and you should do the same thing as well. Now, looking at a even cheaper option, we're going way down the list here on this one. We've got Jozy Altidore at 5.1k. I know the Toronto have been pretty bad this season, not a great season for them, but they're starting to show life, and a lot of production has come out of their striker position. Unfortunately, Ayo Akinola, who started last game, is going to be out for the season. He tore his ACL. Best of wishes to him. Hopefully he gets well for the start of next season. But I think that Jozy Altidore could actually get the start over Dom Dwyer in this game at striker. Dwyer has not been productive at all for Toronto. And Altidore's been, he really has been fallen out of favor from the coach lately, but has kind of jumped back in, shown that he's got energy and been scoring. Speaking of scoring, he did so last game. And he's also averaging 7 points in 5 games this year. I think he really benefits as well from the play of Jefferson Soteldo, who I talked about last video, and I will definitely talk about this video as well. But with all the attack that they're getting and all the energy they've got up top last couple games, I think Altidore is going to benefit for it. At 5.1k, I think he's a fantastic option at a very cheap price this week. Now looking at some of the midfield options. I know this is what you've all been waiting for. So, the midfield options, we're going to start off with Hani Mukhtar of Nashville. Hani Mukhtar, we know that the last game was amazing for him. He had a hat trick in that game, and I like him even more this game. I think last game was really his coming out game, so to speak. This game, he's going to be on more set pieces. Daniel Lovitz, their left back, who has been taking a lot of set pieces in the games for Nashville, not going to be playing in this game. They're going to look to Mukhtar to score some goals in this one. He's likely going to be playing at either a left mid, a center attacking mid, or a striker position, all of which I'm totally fine with for him. Also, 4 goals and an assist over the last 2 games, helped with obviously that hat trick, and 14 shots and 8 crosses in that span. Also, 19 crosses in the 2 games before the last 2 games. So in the games where really he's not having a lot of crosses or not scoring a ton, he's still having opportunities to draw fouls, opportunities to get shots on goal and attacking third. I really like Mukhtar in this game. A little bit cheaper now. These 2 midfielders are really expensive, but I think you should form your team around them. We've also got Lucas Zelarayan at 10.3K. So Zelarayan, I talked about him in the last video. I really hope you played him. He scored. Told you it was going to happen. And you know what? I actually think it's going to happen again in this game. The Crew are playing against Nashville, and Nashville have tended to give up a lot of goals, whether they win or lose. But Zelarayan has 2 goals and an assist in the last 2 games. He's on set pieces. He's on corners. Likely going to be taking penalties as well. And then just kind of to pat that downside and the floor that Zelarayan's got, he's had 14 shots and 35 crosses over the last 4 games. I understand Kevin Molino, their midfielder, is also going to be back from international duty, but it doesn't really scare me. Zelarayan is taking control of the team, as well as Miguel Berry, the other forward who did start last game up top, wasn't very productive. I think that it'd be smart for the Crew to start Zelarayan up top again, and if they do so in this game, likely to score a goal. Even if they don't, I still think Zelarayan is a fantastic play at 10.3K. Looking at a slightly cheaper option, though, at midfield, we've got Georgi Mihailovic at 7.8K for Montreal. Now, I really, really love Mihailovic. He's been extremely effective as of late. But Mihailovic, I was looking at Mason Toye, his strike partner up top, and I really wanted to play Mason Toye. I talked about him in the video last week. Hope, again, you played him. He scored 2 goals in the game last week, but I just couldn't bring myself to it this week. I think in their game this week it's going to be a little closer, not as high scoring as the 5-4 game last week. But when Toye plays under 70 minutes, he doesn't tend to do very well. I think that there's a possibility that could happen in this game, but I still like Mihailovic. Mihailovic has 11 or more fantasy points over the last 5 games and 3 assists and 33 crosses over that span. He's going to be on the set pieces. He's going to be on the corners for the team. Unfortunately, he won't be on the penalties, but I think he's going to be extremely involved up top, and who knows, he may pop off and get a goal or even an assist. At 7.8K, I think why not go ahead and get him into your lineups. And looking at the cheapest midfielder that we really want to play on the slate this week, I think Jefferson Soteldo, again, is a fantastic play. This guy has been on a tear lately. The last game, he looked extremely effective playing the left mid position, very active up top for Toronto, and creating a lot of chances. I think, again, he gets a start in this game. He's had 1 goal and 2 assists over the last 2 games, 39 crosses over the last 6 games, and something else that is extremely impressive for a player priced at 6.9K is that he's averaging almost 13 points per game this year. So fantastic floor, great upside. Soteldo at 6.9K, I'm finding a way to get this guy into my lineup. All right, now looking at the defenders, I think a lot of the guys that are higher priced this week aren't really worth it. I couldn't find a ton of players down low that are cheaper that are really going to return a lot of value, so you may just need to punt one of your defender positions. But if you're looking for someone else at the defender position, I'd really recommend Brandon Bye for the New England Revolution. Like I said, they're playing Miami this week. He's got a great chance to possibly get a clean sheet, and every other game he plays in the last couple games, he's been playing really well. He's also had 20 crosses over the last 4 games, which is something you love to see out of your defender. He's going to be playing on the right back or left back position. I think the Reds really control the pace of the game here, control the ball, and keep it away from Miami. And that's what you want from your right back with Brandon Bye. He'll be getting forward, moving into the attack, and getting opportunities to cross the ball in, to assist, maybe even score. Given that soft matchup, I'm really wanting to play Brandon Bye 5.3K, and he's not super highly priced either. Go ahead and work to get him into your lineups. Finally, the last player we're going to be looking at today is going to be the goalkeeper position. And we're going to be looking at Brad Knighton for the New England Revs. Talking up a lot of players for the Revs. You'll see why in a second. But Brad Knighton, $5K, pretty good price, not super expensive. There's no Matt Turner, starting goalkeeper for the Revs. He is going to be playing with the national team in the Gold Cup. And Miami have only scored 1 goal in their last 5 games. Not a lot of scoring from Miami. Knighton had 5 saves the last game that he started with a clean sheet win. I think that all of that adds into a perfect storm for Knighton. So given his $5K price, I would say play him this week with pretty good confidence that he's going to get a win and likely a clean sheet. Now, speaking about that clean sheet, my favorite bet for this week is going to be the New England Revolution to win their game in a shutout at plus 310. Kind of talked about Miami's struggles. They have been shut out in 4 of their last 5. And I've talked about how good the Revs have been lately. They're one of the best teams in the MLS. I really expect them to get the job done pretty easily and pretty handedly here. Plus 310 for the Revs to win in a shutout. I really like that bet. Place that bet. All right. Finally, we're at the end of the video. So, quick reminder, make sure to smash the like button on the video and also make sure to subscribe to Mayo Media Network and then leave an awesome 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts from. And then also be sure to head on over to Twitter, follow me at Ethan Kershaw 9, where I can help you all out with your DFS soccer lineups. All right, thank you all so much for your time. Place those bets. I hope you all cash some lineups this week, and I will talk to you all later. See ya.